G'day Pickleball family. First thing to know, as shared on pickleballunion.com, USA Pickleball ambassador Jamie Elliott's inspirational triumph over partial paralysis. Jamie Elliott is on a mission to revolutionise the landscape of pickleball, a journey she is only too aware will require a mountain of patience and perseverance. She first came across the sport in 2010 and soon developed a deep love for it, especially as she delved deeper into the sport and found it so full of nuance and light and shade. Progressing to the 4.0 level as a player, she wore two hats, dedicated herself to promoting the sport and encouraging others to join the game. However, her trajectory took an unforeseen turn following a critical surgery in March 2019 when she underwent a procedure to remove a cancerous tumour from her spine. Complications from the operation resulted in partial paralysis of her lower body, with medical professionals delivering the grim prognosis that she might never walk again. Undeterred, Elliott, hailing from McKinney, Texas, made a resolute promise during the initial stages of her recovery to return to the pickleball court in some way. True to her word, she eventually found a way, albeit with the help of a sports wheelchair. And with her enthusiasm unchanged, she has decided to attract as many people into the game as she can. Pickleball is, at its essence, all about being a sport for everybody, she tells USA Pickleball. I have to admit that I didn't consider the sport and what needs to be in place when I wasn't needing a wheelchair. I just played and did everything. But after that surgery, I realised that I could have a future in pickleball even if I wasn't strong enough anymore on my legs. I wanted to be back playing because I knew it was such an important part of my life. I didn't want to stop. I was depressed and down without it. It brought me back to life. I needed to find the best way to keep pickleball in my life. The setback forced Elliott out of active play for 22 months, during which she remained connected to the sport by volunteering at tournaments and observing her peers compete. She also embarked on an arduous path of physical therapy driven by her unwavering determination to regain mobility and resume her pickleball journey. However, for that to happen, Elliott had to face the reality that despite considerable progress in walking with assistance, the residual weakness in her legs posed challenges for conventional pickleball play. So she shifted her focus, drawing inspiration from witnessing Pam Fontaine, a USA Paralympic bronze medalist in wheelchair basketball, playing pickleball. Elliott tried it herself and has found it a perfect solution. Embracing the motto, where there is a wheel, there is a way, Elliott has since mastered the subtleties of the game played from a wheelchair. I'm still learning the best way to do shots and how to move while in the sports chair. She says, you cannot rest your paddle on the yellow, so you have to keep it up between shots, switch hands, hold one for the paddle, and then the other hand moves the chair. It's a lot of moving parts, and you have to get to a point where you feel it's all working well. Prior to her health challenges, Elliott served as a USA Pickleball ambassador, a role she has found the motivation to go back into with renewed vigour. Leveraging her experience as a wheelchair player, she advocates for greater accessibility within the sport, highlighting the unique challenges faced by players with disabilities. She has also raised awareness of the importance of developing pathways to ensure inclusivity in the sport, from modifying equipment to enhancing facility accessibility. For example, the base of the chair has to be wider, allowing for more stability during play. However, that extra width can make the chair too wide to fit through doorways at pickleball facilities, even those that are up to code for non-sport wheelchair accessibility. Players need assistance to gain access to such facilities, a process that can include having to take the wheels off their chairs and then reassembling everything. Elliott knows that the development of community, from being part of founding a national non-profit organisation, P3 Para Pickleball Program, to creating adaptive groups to play in the Dallas Metroplex, to finding providers for equipment, will lead to growth. There's been some notable progress. 15 chicken and pickle locations around the country offer twice weekly adaptive court time, and Carvana sponsored a Pickleball for All clinic to help introduce the sport. Elliott's active profile on Facebook helps connect other players to resources. 6 sport chairs have been donated and will be available to help new players have better on-court movement. It's the best thing to stay active and make connections within the community for all ages and abilities, said Elliott, who worked as a Screen Actors Guild carded stunt person in movies and TV shows for 2 decades. I've always been very athletic, and having that part of my life means a lot to me. It's part of keeping me in good physical and mental health. I know that pickleball is that outlet for so many others too. And if you've made it this far into the update, please be sure to dink that like button and rate and subscribe on the platform you're watching or listening to it on, so this and future episodes can be shared with and found by other fellow pickleballers. Second thing to know, as shared on pickleball.com at the recent Mesa, Arizona PPA Tour event, Waters Parento win doubles gold, remain undefeated. The top-seeded tandem of Annalie Waters and Catherine Parento remain undefeated in women's doubles after beating Megan Dizon and Etta Wright 11-3, 12-10, 12-10 on Sunday. Megan and Etta were playing so well, they really pushed us to our limit, said Waters. After dropping the first game, Dizon and Wright turned things around. But Waters and Parento weren't going to be denied another gold medal. We just needed to move the ball around, play our game, and be aggressive first. They were doing such a good job pressing. On the bench, we were reminded that you can win just by being defensive, so just go for it, explained Parento. Waters, meanwhile, can't say enough good things about her partner. Catherine is just an amazing person off the court. If I could pick anybody, I would pick Catherine. Even if she wasn't number 2 in the world, I'd still pick her and play with her. I just love her so much, she said. The victory officially earned Waters her 23rd career Triple Crown on the PPA Tour. Third thing to know, as also shared on pickleball.com, Johnson Fraser capture men's doubles crown at the same event. JW Johnson and Dylan Fraser got to hold up the championship trophy for the first time in 2024 on Sunday at the Arizona Athletic Grounds. The number 2 seeds put a stop to the impressive run of Gabriel Tardio and Andre Diescu with an 11-3, 11-8, 11-9 victory. Their opponents had taken out the top 2 seeds in the draw already in Mesa, but Johnson and Fraser were able to grind them out at the kitchen line and win the firefights when they needed to. They weren't giving us many opportunities to attack, so we tried to stay patient and disciplined, Fraser shared. We're comfortable in those long dink rallies, and we're not afraid to get in the hands battles either. The number 16 seeds are a familiar opponent for the duo since they play together often in South Florida. Knowing what Tardio and Diescu are capable of, they weren't shocked to share the court with them on Championship Sunday. We weren't surprised to see them at all in the final here, Fraser said. They're playing really well and they're great competitors. Johnson and Fraser are coming off a 2023 campaign during which they had 15 podium finishes in men's doubles to go along with 5 gold medals. They know they'll have to keep working if they want to find similar success in 2024. The sport is continuing to evolve and advance, and players are trying different stuff, so we've got to keep up with it, explained Fraser. They're already off to a pretty good start. Fourth thing to know, as also shared on pickleball.com regarding the PPA Mesa Arizona Tour event, Ben Johns is back, wins gold in men's singles. Number 1, Ben Johns, and number 2, Federico Staksrud, went head-to-head on Championship Sunday to compete for gold. This was Johns' return back to the men's singles final in 2024, and needless to say, Johns came back with a point to prove why he is number 1 in the world. The final score was 11-8, 11-4. There was a particular moment of emotion during Game 2 when Johns was up 7-0 and hit an overhead shot, and then turned to the bench and roared to the crowd. This outburst of emotion is a little unusual for this pro. You'll almost never see that from me, admitted Johns. But it has to feel right, and it came out naturally. I think it was really just an exciting point for singles. I got a lot of adrenaline, and I had to let some of it out, continued Johns. Johns and Staksrud had a beautiful battle on the court with hands battles and cross-court shots that looked nearly impossible to return, and Johns returned them with ease. It's definitely one of the best singles matches I've ever played, so I think I'll remember this one, said Johns. Paddles up.